If tomorrow all things are gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, well at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend us till today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Hey, what's going on? Welcome, everybody. We got the full cast of crew here. Real quick, hey, Mike, our producer, Mike, can
Yes.
you email Dr. Roberto the link? For some reason, he didn't get it when I forwarded it to him. I'd appreciate that.
Okay.
So, you, Paul, Frank, you guys missed a nice podcast. The last one we had, Lewis and I had the Grouse Father and the guy Todd Waldron from the Rough Grouse Society on there. We went long. We went 2 hours. We definitely went. We went I would say about 50 minutes over what I anticipated, but we're definitely gonna have a part two, because there still was a lot of questions that I had, that we didn't get to with the two gentlemen. But I spoke to Giuseppe the Grouse Father today, so he said just like a 2 weeks notice, and he'll make himself available for part two of the next podcast. So,
Do you know that grouse is one of the original peasant foods?
and maybe so, Frank, but that could be from the mind of Big F.
It is. So I'm just making it up.
I know. That's why I got that big stupid smile on my face. So, last podcast, like I said, we went about 2 hours. We had a big discussion, stuff like that, which leads us into what's coming up now around the corner is spring. Lewis and I told the last podcast we were talking about what's coming up in spring, and turkey hunting's here. I know parts of Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, and other states outside of New York, Connecticut. Turkey is open. I'm seeing a lot of our followers posting pictures on Instagram and stuff like that of turkeys they got. Some really nice slammers too. So
we have a lot of good things to be looking forward to.
Yes, we do.
Turkey,
I know
illegal immigrants coming across our border.
We got all kinds of crazy things coming in, but
we can hunt them too. Maybe, I don't know.
We definitely can hunt turkey in.
Oh no!
Pennsylvania.
Louis just shaking his head. I don't want no part of this.
But with turkey season coming around the corner,
it's still America, right? I can still say things like that, right?
What's up, Jeff? We got Jeff on there.
Hey, Jeff. The big bird has landed.
Yeah, link was sent to Andrew to him. So
okay, I'm going to tell. I just told him to check your email. Excuse me, guys. I apologize.
No need.
Yeah, right. Check your email. All right. So we
your
always,
six.
every week we're having technical difficulties somewhere or another. So with turkey season upon us, I got a couple of trips planned. I know we're going to go to the place upstate. I definitely want to do some hunting in Pennsylvania, where we got the club property and stuff like that. And I'm definitely making a trip to Maryland to get out and about. And then also with this beautiful spring comes trout season. I know trout season finally turned into a catch and keep, from what I've been reading on the Pennsylvania Game Commission and in New Jersey as well. In New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New Jersey was a catch and release. And as of last Friday, it became a catch and keep, which is pretty cool. So we're going to get out there and do some trout fishing.
Yeah, New York changed that law last year, I guess, the regulations. Right now, you could fish all year round. You just can't.
Yeah, because there was too many people practicing fillet and release.
Oh, you're not joking there. I mean, as much as it's a funny line, but you're 100% true, Frank. I mean, how many how many guys I see at the local courthouse here that we're doing a fillet and release, and they don't care if the fish was legal or not. They impounded all the guys' fish. They took the boat. They took every freaking thing. So,
Oh yeah, they have a lot of power.
DEC does a lot of crazy things, but
now May 1st is Turkey for New York, right?
May 1st is Turkey for New York. Yeah, it starts in your beautiful state that you live in, the state of Pennsylvania. It starts, I think April. I think it started last Friday.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
So,
Yeah, New Jersey too. It starts like the 7th of April or something like that.
Lewis sent that picture of.
That's what I wanted to say. You have the picture of my man Kenny. See if you can put that up.
I can see.
Frankie, where do you see this turkey? He walks around my neighborhood. It's got to be 40 pounds. Got a beard this long.
Really?
His beard got to be 7 inches. You'll show you a picture of it.
Where do you get that, in New York?
No, it's right.
Oh, there's a
There
turkey.
he is.
There's a turkey.
That's a turkey, but a different kind.
That
There's
wasn't
a turkey. He's a gizzard man.
Gizzard,
Right, a
man.
gizzard.
Oh God.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Richie the neck bone. All right. He's just keeping his head down. What's up?
I'm not. I'm trying to send.
Turkey.
I'm trying to send the picture of the turkey to Mike.
Come on, let's talk turkey.
Let's talk turkey. We got a lot of turkey recipes. You know, we got what are they? That sound like Bubba Gump with all the turkey
Yeah,
stuff that we
just
got.
thinking the same thing. Turkey fricassee.
As long as you don't get stuck behind the 8 ball.
You're all right.
All right. Nope, that's not it. Oh.
So anyway, I know it's not one of our topics, but I'm seriously upset about the next million immigrants that will be coming in within the next 6 months to this country illegally. I'm not talking about immigrants that come legally. I'm talking about illegal ones, thugs and thieves and murderers and rapists.
I heard on the news today, aren't they going to put them all on a bus and bring them to Washington, D.C.?
That's what Texas wants to do. The
Well,
Texas
Delaware.
governor said that he's going to load them up as quick as they drop them off there. He's going to load them on a bus and bring them to Biden.
Yeah, he said Delaware. Was bringing them to Delaware.
He said
Where
he's
Biden's
bringing
from.
them to Washington, D.C.
Right.
Oh,
Right to the Capitol.
That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
And he means it. He's a
I
good man.
hope so.
I hope so, too.
From what I've been hearing and reading and stuff like that, they said that it's a good way for, like, you know, a lot of these countries that don't like us to purge their jail system and send all their undesirables to us.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's nice.
That's great. Well, if these undesirables, they should learn how to read English, number one, and look up the Castle Doctrine and what that means to the state of Pennsylvania before they come here.
Yeah,
That's
what's
all I
bad is
got.
a lot of other states don't have a castle doctrine, which is very bad.
I think there's 2 or 3 states that have it.
Oh, really?
That's
Only
it? Only two or three?
There's only a few.
No,
There's only a few
Florida, I
states
think,
that have
has
it.
it. Really?
Well, I could be wrong, but that's what I was told, and I don't know that to be fact, but I think there's only a few states that have it. But Pennsylvania is one of them, thank goodness.
Florida.
And, that's all I'm going to say about that.
I believe Florida has it too.
Florida has it.
It could be. Could very well be.
Here's the picture, Andrew. It's sideways there, but that's the way it.
Wow, it looks fake.
It does look fake.
Wow.
Yeah, that colors on a face look fake.
I'm telling you, there's another picture, a close up. You'll see how big the beard is on him. It's tremendous.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, he looks like a decoration for Thanksgiving table.
He was walking next to my car. I took that picture. Said, "Andrew, look at this guy walks around my neighborhood. He'll peck if you stop. He'll peck at your car." They call him Kenny.
Kenny the turkey.
Yeah.
Listen,
That's
we
something.
could do. I got a couple recipes. We can make a white chili out of Kenny. You know, with some Catalini beans and
A little seat in the back seat of the car and slam
Absolutely.
I think he'll give you an ass. Listen, that bird didn't get that big being a punk. I think he'll.
That's for sure.
You know, I was reading on.
Andrew, if you're talking to the doctor, the link is in the email. He said there was no invite, but the link is there. I just resent it again.
Okay.
If you are messaging him more.
I'm going to message him right now.
Okay.
Yeah, tell him he's got to click on when he gets in his email. He's got to click on StreamYard.
Yeah,
He's a doctor.
Yeah.
That's all right. He might not know what a StreamYard is.
What's he a doctor of again?
He's Richie's doctor.
He's a proctologist.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in charge of anal bleaching. Did I say
Oh
that?
yeah.
Did I say? Oh no,
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no.
that's out of control.
So we just came off the tower shoot that we did, the memorial hunt for Bob Heineman, and I mean, I think it was a great day. I had a good time. We established several new hunters that never did that style of hunting before, and they're all down for next year. So I did book for next year. It's March 26th, it's the last Sunday of March. We
How
do
many
have a
new
video.
hunters you think we had with us that never did that style before?
Well,
Off
10.
the top of your head.
Maybe 10.
I'm looking for somebody to blame it. Blame the we only got like half the birds on.
67
out of 100,
67?
120.
67 out of 125.
Wow.
So, I mean that
We're worse than
percentage
Biden's
is a lot-
approval rating.
is down a lot from
It's
last
worse
year.
than Biden's approval rating.
Yeah. Oh my God, if that's possible.
So
Yeah. But yeah, I mean it was a great time. It was a great time, regardless.
Food was excellent.
yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
Did Richie ever do that
Great.
before, Frankie, or Richie's friend?
What's that?
Did Richie or his friend do that before?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Don't know.
Some of that was the birds' fault. So there was a lot of low flying birds.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No
A
doubt.
lot of high flying birds too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Some
a
of the
lot of
ones
very
with
high
streams,
flying birds.
money bird
A lot
ones,
of-
they went like forget so
Yeah,
high.
they went
Yeah.
like rockets straight up.
Yeah, they were very
Yeah.
high.
Yeah.
What happens to the birds that get away?
They live.
Another day.
There's always the
They live
next
another
day.
day.
There's
probably
always
Just
the
after
next
the
day.
hunt, they got a few after the hunt where they seen them running and they had the dogs
Oh.
flush them up.
Mhm.
They might go
Um,
back to the pen too, right? They don't know.
Well, that's very possible.
Possible is right.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's possible.
I'm counting
So they-
14 people that did that the first time, Frankie.
Wow.
Okay.
Well,
Out of
that could
21 out of 21 shooters.
be- Yeah. Yeah.
So, it was
Whatever.
good. The food was good. We got the video. Mike, you want to roll that video?
Sure. Oops, there we go.
It's my famous production.
Who's that sexy guy?
That's Michael standing next to the Entenmann's Donuts. That's us getting our safety briefing. There's the guy that runs the place, Jeremy.
There were times it sounded like Vietnam.
Right.
He made it.
Remember that, Frank?
Oh, look at him. He's still going.
Yeah.
Man. He's out.
Here, Frank. Here's a bird that made it. I think the bird made it back to
Hey,
Bimmerman.
Lou. Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. No.
What are all them little sparkles I'm seeing?
Those are snow.
Snow.
It's the snow.
The snow.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, now I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, it snowed a lot. I'm saying.
There you
Oh,
go,
that's a
Frank.
miss.
The bird stopped. Boom.
There was a. I watched this. There was a spot where you see someone gets one, he falls right down. It might be coming up.
Right here. This one here.
Gosh.
Nice shot, Ant.
Nice.
There you go. Okay, this is the one.
Oh, this one got scared to death.
This sounded like 4th of July.
Holy cow.
Mhm.
Get him.
They shot my head off.
They got him.
Bunch of murderers.
Wait, we're good.
Whoever shot that drilled that. All right, I got Anthony the Mad Killer next to me.
How are you? They're
That
not
was
gonna
his-
hit
we
the
suck.
bird.
We
It's gonna
suck.
hit him.
Oh, we were horrible, man, but we had a great time.
No, it was a great time. Gerard?
Yeah. The pig terrorist.
Big terrorist.
Some newcomers.
Those pretty birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go,
There's Franco.
All three chins.
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
There's the gang. There's the food.
That's what the birds look like after we get them.
Absolutely.
That lasagna was good. That Camelo. made.
Everything was good.
It's making me hungry.
Yeah.
Pheasant meatballs.
All right. Thank you, everybody, coming. This was like our annual thing we would do. Bob, obviously, Bob passed on. We got his little memorial pheasant classic. I want to thank everybody for coming. We had a great time. I hope we can do this again every other year, or every year, I should say. We got a lot of food here. A lot of it's all wild game, or actually most of it's all wild game. So if you don't eat wild game, eat the hero. We had some newcomers here. The little guys did good. We had some people. We had Scotty. Scotty's first time here. Both Scotty's, right? So whoever didn't do tower shoots, I hope that with Anthony, we did a great time. Right, Anthony knocked the shit out of some birds today. So I just want to thank everybody for coming, and we'll let's just say a little, I guess, a little prayer so we eat, and then silence, moment of silence for Bob.
Hello, Roberto.
Hey, how we doing, gentlemen?
What's going on, Dr. Roberto?
I love pictures of the food.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I wish I was there with you guys.
Amen.
Next time.
I might have even hit something. The birds were unbelievable. That whole table full of the birds. They're beautiful colors.
Yeah.
I just want to just round of applause for Andrew. He does
I got a great team. We got Camella, we got Nona, I got Paul, we got Zachary. We got everybody put this together. It was a group effort, so I'm happy that everybody came. We had a couple guys that fell flat at the very end. I was a little upset, but we're not going to block them out. We'll invite them for next year. So, sit, eat, enjoy. 2 years in a row.
It's the king.
King Bob. So, I mean, for a thing that we put together in, I wouldn't know, what do we say, about 2-3 months? I mean, we had a lot of guys, they're coming, they're not coming, they're not coming, they're coming, they're coming, they're not coming.
Yeah.
I think it went well. You know, we had the core group that was there. We, like I said, we had newcomers. They were happy to be there, and we made some new friends that are going to come every year. I know, Dr. Roberta, you couldn't make it. You sent me pictures. You were skiing.
Oh, I was up in Vermont, right?
You were up in Vermont. Yeah, you went to go visit your daughter in college, so you were out skiing. So, but we'll get you out there. We want to get you on the range soon enough. Frankie's club is back open on Sundays. Lewis's club is back open on Sundays. Do some clay shooting. Frankie's club, they got the little tiny clays. They're tough to shoot. Lewis's club's got the clays like frisbees. So,
wow, I love that.
you know, they're slow. You could beat them with a stick. So
you can find chokes like Andrew got. You can poke him.
Yeah,
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. With that, I gotta find. There's a picture of me with the clay shoot that we did the Boy Scouts last year. It was Frankie, Paul, myself, Gerard, Nick, and I'm walking, and I got Nick's sporting clay gun that he won. It's got 30 or 32-inch barrels with the choke tubes. I look like I'm carrying Herman Munster's shotgun. The freaking thing. It looks like a prop. But I got to find that picture. When I find it out, we'll get it out in one of these podcasts. We'll do what we got to do. So, with that being said, we had a great time. Just keep your eyes out for next events that we got. I know we got a couple game dinners that we're going to do. Lewis is working on a restaurant in Jersey. I'm working over here, one of the local VFWs, to try to get a date. We are going to be in the middle of like graduation and communion season, stuff like that. So as the podcasts come out, as we get dates, we'll let everybody know. We'll post them on our social media accounts and stuff like that. And, we'll have everybody on here. But tonight we got Dr. Roberto. We want to welcome him on to the show. Always Doctor is he's our resident doctor. You know, he got the same beliefs like we do. You know, he shoots, he doesn't hunt, but we're going to get him into hunting as for next season. Talk to him a lot on the phone. We talk about, the views that we got and everything. And, Dr. Roberto, you weren't on. Frankie was talking about that. He saw in the news that they're bringing in, what Frankie, we say 1 million.
They said as soon as this Article 42, if it does become dropped by Biden, they said within the next 6 months, there could be an influx of up to 1 million illegal immigrants unchecked into the country.
Makes no sense.
It's insane. It's insanity. And it's very
we were
disturbing.
talking to Andrew about this morning. My grandparents were immigrants. I'm sure your grandparents were.
Yes.
And when they came over on the boat and they came into New York Harbor and they saw the Statue of Liberty, it was like this huge thing because America was the last hope. From where they came from, it was horrible circumstances.
Right.
And then
it was freedom. And they cried.
Welcomed them, and it was that image. And I didn't see my grandparents. They passed away before I was born, but the relatives were still there. They were in Astoria, New York. And I was telling Andrew, we used to go out there when we were kids, and they all lived in apartments. They didn't have any money.
Right.
But they stayed together as a family, and they didn't have to do anything. It was just this family stuff. Right. And I just remember, and everybody was like happy then. They didn't have anything, but they were happy to be together. And they socialized with their family. Their church was just like a small group. And, I tell Andrew all the time, I said, there's more traditional values in the animal kingdom than there are in people now. The fish swim in a school, birds fly in a flock, the animals are in a herd. You're like, well, what is this? So it's just like the exact opposite of everything we're taught. So it's for people like us, it goes against your nature. It goes against everything. And it goes against, I think, what goes on in society. It's all completely wrong, but
it's horrible. It's very
we have to somehow exist in this.
It's very serious too. It's a serious problem.
Well, I think when I tell Andrew this all the time, what we have to be is the positive example because people want that. They want to know there's somebody cares, in your family and in society. And I do that as a doctor, in my office. You spend time, you talk to me, they trust you. My whole practice has always been built on trust. Anyway, the other thing we were talking about, when I was a kid, we went to camp and I learned to shoot on a .22. And they taught you gun safety, and I don't know, it just made you feel good. You had control over something. It was this powerful thing. It was a gun. It was a .22, but you learned the basics of responsibility with that. So it stayed with me.
Right. Yeah, I remember when I was a young boy, and my father and my uncle, and my grandfather had a house up in Milford, Pennsylvania, and we used to walk down the road deeper into the woods, and we used to shoot. We used to target shoot. And I can remember to this day the very first time he actually let me carry the gun there. It was always we got there, he'd load the gun, he'd give it to me, show me how to shoot. But I remember the day he actually let me carry the gun to the spot, and I felt like the king. That was it. It was they entrusted me to carry this weapon. It was great.
It was huge. You get responsibility for this dangerous thing, and you handled it responsibly.
Right. Well,
you are.
let's hope with this new influx of illegal immigrants, we don't have to practice ready, shoot, aim.
Frank, what you mentioned, when you and I were talking about earlier today, I was talking to Dr. Roberto this morning. Frankie's telling me he's showing his wife on how to proper handle of a safe handling of a firearm, and that's what we were talking about this morning. We were talking about you call the cops, they don't even want to come today. It's like, and if they do come, they come late, or they tell you there's really nothing we can do.
Right.
What are you doing when these guys are bad people are doing bad things to you?
Right.
I mean, I hate to get on the topic, but I mean, we don't live in a. You got to be prepared, exactly. So,
it's important for women too to learn this.
Yeah,
to be comfortable with it, to protect themselves, because they're much more vulnerable.
Right.
So, I still had this little. It was like a little medallion I got. It was called a marksman or something like that. They gave. She was so proud of that when you got it.
Yeah, that's good.
What did you guys learn on 22s? You all started with?
Yes,
Well, my dad was big into the trap and skeet shooting. I mean, when I was about 7 years old, we started using his 12 gauge. He had the semi-automatic 12 gauge, and I always learned to shoot shotguns. I mean, everybody shot 22s when you were a kid, but shotgun was very big for us when we were kids. We grew up shooting shotguns.
Yeah, that's where our passion, I think, for sporting clays or clay shooting in general came from. When we went out there, my father.
That was late 60s. Andrew was born in 70. We were going a couple of years before that to Tom's up in Goshen.
Yeah.
Uncle Joe, Dad, Frankie,
Cavassa,
sure.
It brings you back to that. You go do the same thing now. It brings you back your memories. Well,
Oh,
your dad is
Frank's-
still alive, right? He's still alive, your
my
dad?
father's still alive. Yes.
Frank's dad was our instructor for the hunting class. Me and Frank were in the same hunting class. We were 13 years old, and we took the class in the Valley Stream Bugle and Drum Corps, where Carl Hopples used to be on Merrick Road.
Right.
In the early 70s. Andrew was 4 years old when we took that course.
Wow.
That's a long time ago. We've been hunting. Me and him been hunting together for 40 over 50 years.
I think it was like 73. We probably took
73. Yeah, 73.
Would you guys,
Whoever
you guys used to be able to buy the guns like Sears and Consumers Distributors and stuff?
I don't remember Sears selling guns, but you had Larry's on Merrick Road. Herman's was very, very bad. I bought a lot of guns. Leslie Edelman.
Service merchandise.
Service merchandise.
Service merchandise. That's the one. Yeah, I remember that store.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sears sold shotguns and JCPenney
sold
sold shotguns.
Yeah, but I
through the
don't
catalog.
remember them selling guns, to be honest with you. And you know who sold guns? Wolves on Sunrise Highway did. And then at the very end, they stopped.
In Rockville Center.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, Sears used to sell houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still had catalog, sold everything. Them and JCPenney sold like everything.
Yeah.
Washing machines, everything.
JCPenney's turns 120 and they're still around. They still got stores open. So God bless them.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Dr. Roberto, we got you on here. I got a couple of medical questions for you. Real simple, some layups. What do you recommend about trying to lower your cholesterol naturally? Do you like a green diet? I know you like your broccoli. I know you like your beans and stuff like that. I've been following a lot of the diets that you send me and stuff like that.
Pinto beans.
Yeah, I made some the other night. It was delicious. Your cholesterol you got to get the level check, see where you are. The important thing about it is, do you have risk factors? Like you might have elevated cholesterol, but you may never have a heart attack or a stroke. Are you susceptible to that? Do you diabetic? Do you have high blood pressure? Is there a family history? Do you smoke? All these other factors have to be taken into account. The way the system works now, you go to the doctor, your level's high, they give you medication, but it might not be indicated for everybody, and there are side effects to this. On a personal level, I never take anything. I don't like taking any medication. Every time you take some, it's going to have a side effect. All that cholesterol stuff does have a side effect, and you have to read different sources. See, are you taking the right kind of medication? Do you really need the medication? If you've had a heart attack or a stroke and you got cholesterol, you better take it.
You got to take it, yeah. But
one time I had to take an insurance physical. I said, you know what? I want to get a low rate. So I cut out all the stuff that contains cholesterol, which is animal products. That's like meat, bacon, cheese, dairy products, eggs. I cut everything back. I don't know. It dropped about 40 points. So I said, well,
Wow.
that's it. This is how you do it. And I exercised every day and you reduce your stress. So you're asking me what to do? I would do natural things. You know, that's
Yeah.
what I would do first. Get your weight down, get your exercise.
Exercise is a
Obviously,
big part of it.
it's a huge part of it. Obviously, if you had a heart attack or a stroke, then you absolutely have to take it. But
Yeah.
all the information from this stuff comes from research. And who funded the research?
Pharmaceutical
Well, the
companies.
pharmaceutical company. So of course, you're going to tell everybody to take it. So, I mean, you got to be really sensible about it. You talk to your doctor, then you take this stuff if it's setting off side effects. And we've seen this very often. People get sick from taking it. So I'm not taking it. Well, you know, then you have to do this. So, so that's where cholesterol comes. It's from animal products. So it's meat, bacon, you know, cold cuts, eggs have a lot of cholesterol in it, cheese, butter, all this kind of stuff. Dairy products. This is what you cut out. Ice cream. I mean, you got to be sensible. You get the weight down, you start exercising, and things will come down naturally. But you can't exist without cholesterol. It gets such a bad rap, but your body needs it. Without cholesterol, you couldn't function. And that's why you have cholesterol. It's not there. There's nothing in your body that's there that doesn't belong there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like you open up your watch. You get a self-winding watch. Well, everything you need is in the watch. You're never supposed to open it up. Just keep moving it, and then you'll be okay. So personally, I have cholesterol problems. I've never taken anything. I keep it as low as I possibly can, and you don't abuse yourself. That's the most important thing. This whole country is freaked out on numbers. You know,
Yes.
get your vaccine. You know, what are your antibody levels? You know, what's your cholesterol? It's all this it's a simplistic approach, but that's not realistically what goes on in your system. This is this integrated system, and everything's functioning together, and whatever's there is supposed to be there for a reason. So trust in God. Take care of yourself.
There you go.
Did
There
I
you
answer
go.
the question?
Yes, you did. Thank you. Thank you. You know,
Yeah, I'm getting rid of my doctor after that.
I'm throwing all my medicine in the garbage. It's like later. Throwing the Lipitor in the garbage as soon as I get out of here.
You know,
That's
there's
it.
a good book to read about this. The Big Cholesterol Myth is one book. There's another one. A guy wrote The Grain Brain. He was a neurologist, and he wrote about it. You know, the brain and the nerves are made out of cholesterol. So if you take away the basic building blocks for the brain and the nerve, well, he's saying it could lead to problems later in life. You know, neuropathy, which is nerve problems and other things. So, I mean, everything has to make sense to you. And you have to think about these things, and you have a conversation with your doctor, and you don't do things that you're not comfortable with. Don't just take a prescription and take it, you know. Where'd the pill come from? Who made it? You know, what country did it come from? I like to know these things.
it seems
So-
that a lot of doctors are quick. You know, they're like, "Oh, your cholesterol's 20 points higher. I want to give you this. You know, I'm going to give you 20 pills of this, and you're going to try them. Then you're going to come back to me." You know, and it's like, really? You know, can't you tell me to go home and just change my diet? Like you said, walk an extra, 40 minutes a night, or do certain things just to be active and get out there. So,
You know, that's interesting to say. After dinner, you should walk. It helps
Yeah.
digest. Very important. Moves everything. The worst time to eat is at night. You should finish your food around 6. And then you have
Right.
time to digest. And you should fast for like 12 hours. There should be nothing in your body, so your body can start. You know, I tell people your body's like an office building. There's people working all day. At night, the cleanup crew comes in. But if you're up all night working at your desk, the cleanup crew can't come in. By the next day, the whole office is a mess. There's dirt all over. There's coffee cups. There's paper on the floor. Well, that's not how it's supposed to be. Rest
Wow.
is like, people don't understand how important good rest is. You should get
That's a good
8 hours
analogy.
sleep.
Yeah,
Sounds like my
nice.
truck, Frankie.
Huh?
Sounds like my work truck. Coffee comes
Yeah.
over the floor.
Yeah. Well, your ass is like your work truck.
Yeah, Dr. Roberto, we don't know, and we would never do this. We would never send Lewis to your office for a checkup, because
No.
all of us can eat the same thing, and Lewis's body processes it in such a foul manner that you could listen. We wouldn't have any issues with high gasoline prices.
You ever see the commercial with the
We can
bulldog
capitalize.
when he goes, "I have a very unique digestive system"? So do I.
Yeah. Lewis has to go every quarter for a new anal bleaching.
No.
Send them over. I'll straighten them out.
What did Mike say? I used to be walked. He goes, "Lewis needs to be walked like a dog."
Lewis needs to be walked like a dog. Doc, you said straighten him out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Bent carrot.
He's got bencarrot.com, but we won't go there.
Terrible.
Andrew, we'll
went
make
there.
them
Oh
lunch.
no,
We'll straighten them out.
Oh no!
There you go.
Frankie. Oh no.
Oh no!
Exactly.
Oh boy.
You know, I speak to all the guys as you and I always speak, Dr. Roberto, and you know, one of the key things that we say, Lewis and I talk about this a lot, is, you know, look about the diets that our relatives had. You know, you want to go back like that Mad Men 1960s era. They smoked, you know, it was socially accepted to smoke and drink and this, that, and the other thing. Everybody was skinny. They were skinny. The food that they ate, you know, I mean, they abused their bodies another way, but think about the food that they ate, how pure it was. Nobody was heavy. Nobody had half the medical problems that people have today. Every time you put a channel 2 on, you put it, I don't say, you put it, the TV on, there's some type of drug that they're putting out there. And then there's like 45 seconds of side effects that it's got. I don't remember seeing that as a kid when I was growing up.
All right, so the goal is 10,000 steps a day. So now some people can only do 8. So your risk factor, I was listening to this on the radio today, changes as many steps as you do, is how much it reduces your risk. In other words, if you only get to 80% of that, your risk is getting lower or higher or whatever.
I'm going to go back to what Dr. Roberto said with cholesterol. Everybody's infatuated with a number. I think if you're active for, let's just say for a person in their mid 70s, whatever, if you're active for like 45 minutes to an hour a day at that peak time of day, I think that you're doing good if you got no major ailments.
Yeah.
But
you gotta remember too, in the old days, they didn't eat like we eat now. All right, they ate that peasant food. That peasant food was keeping them thin.
Well,
our peasant food is fettuccine with creamy lobster sauce.
That's not peasant food. That's one of
to me it is.
That's one of the topics tonight. You know, Frank, you like that the Italian wedding soup that I make, right?
Right.
That Italian wedding soup, that was my Lewis and my, that was our grandmother. That was one of her peasant dishes because they boiled chickens all day, whatever they did, and they made their own chicken stock. And then she had some extra veal or whatever she had. They made meatballs. They threw that in there. They threw pastina in there, or they threw rice in there. They threw any type of a green they had. And that was it. The stracciatella soup that I make, Lewis likes. That was my grandmother's favorite dish to make. It was so
Lewis likes everything, Doc. Everything. There's not much I don't like.
But I mean, that was a simple dish. That was chicken broth, and she scrambled. They had, they scrambled eggs. She dumped eggs in there, and then she threw spinach in there, and that was it. Was done. I mean, that when I have that dish, Lewis and I will make that upstate. Or even when I make the Italian wedding soup, that brings me back to that time when, like, I was hanging out, in the kitchen with Grandma. She would pull the chair up so I could stand on it so I could look in the pot.
And there were no recipes then. She threw this together.
And they never mentioned nothing either. They pinched this and poured that and put it in. They don't mention.
And it was different every time. I mean, the definition, like we were talking, the definition of peasant food was it was products, whatever they cooked with was cheap and accessible. And that's where, the definition here was they didn't have a lot of money. But today, peasant food is, you go to certain restaurants, it's like a delicacy. They put a different spin on it.
Frank,
go ahead.
Do you remember when the Moose would make the 5-bean thing, like the soup? And we'd say, the macaroni's broke. Who cares? You just crunch up, throw it right in there.
But that's what they had.
Macaroni he can, he put in there.
It's all the
that's
same.
What they had.
It's a different shape. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Something's up.
No, that's my daughter trying to FaceTime me.
I mean, pasta vazul or macaroni and peas, probably one of my favorite peasant dishes. That hands down the easiest thing to make. From when Grandma animated Lou to Mommy makes it. To the limited amount that they make, but the 2 times that Mommy cooks when she makes it, it's like spot on.
Absolutely.
I remember going by Moose's house, especially now, like during Lent, and you'd have his Ann would make peas and chopped hard-boiled egg with sautéed onion, another like quick peasant dish. They'd make a chestnut flour cake with I think with olive oil or stuff like that. I never had stuff like that, but they said that was cheap stuff that they could source back then.
Yeah.
Well, I can attest to one more thing. I've only been around Paul and them not as long as you guys are, but I mean, everything they make is unbelievable too. Camilla, anything that they bring to any time we go to them or whatever, Nona or Camilla, what they cook is always phenomenal too. So,
Well,
he's no stranger to know what good stuff is.
no, Nona. I mean, Nona is not born here. Camilla is
Right.
first generation here. So,
Like
you
Dr.
wanna
Roberto said that, yeah, they grew up in Astoria in pretty much a 1-bedroom apartment in Astoria, and there was 2 brothers, a sister, and a mother and father in this tiny little apartment. They had no money. I mean, they were from Italy. They were born over there, came over here for a better life, and they're very simple people. It's amazing, and like you said, they're happy. They're happy
Yeah.
with what they got. They're happy with family. They're happy with food. Oh, Nona loved those pheasants. She thought that was great.
You know what?
She
That
didn't
is-
realize what it was, but then when she realized what it was, that this was
It was
a bird
before the
in her country,
Oh, okay.
that they used to hunt for pheasants, but they said they overhunted them. They don't have them there anymore. But
Okay.
when she found out what the bird was, she was so excited.
That's it.
So she didn't know what pheasant was, whatever the word is in Italian. I don't know.
Was it Faisan, I think, or something like that?
I don't know, but we showed her pictures and then she was all excited.
She was
That's what
excited
it
she got it. Nona's looking to come pig hunting with us. She likes
Oh,
it
yeah.
when we source our
Mhm.
food.
She told me we wasted too much. She wants the hocks, the feet, the
Who wasted
bones.
too? I love it. I love it.
The
Yeah.
cheeks. The
What
cheeks.
Yeah.
Somebody
She
asked
just didn't
me,
want the no hearts and liver though. No, she didn't want that.
and that's the thing that the guy gave us that I really didn't.
Mhm.
I gave it away. I gave it to a couple of friends of mine that I just. That's not for my taste, but people like here. They want to get back to peasant food. That was food.
So
that
free.
they
Yeah.
Did you
like.
ever eat tripe? You eat
No.
tripe? or
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
no,
had it.
my in-laws eat it all the time. Yeah,
I
don't
Don't like it.
I
You
That's
had
on my list of things to never try.
Yeah, I
Does it
didn't
have a
try that.
specific taste to it?
Lining
I
in the
never
cow's stomach? No, sir. No, thank you.
Never
It-
tried.
it-
Yeah,
Depends
I
on
don't
how-
think so. It tastes like the
depends on-
sauce it's cooked in.
That's
kinda,
exactly right. Depends on who
Mhm.
makes it.
Yeah.
It's I've had it with like a sauce with like carrots and onions stuff like that. It tasted like whatever it was cooked with.
I saw it once. It was cooking someplace. I didn't know what it was. Then when I
It's
found
like a
out what it was,
sponge.
it really turned me off. It just seemed
Yeah,
like
it's
really
nasty shit.
disgusting.
The first time I had it, I thought it was fish.
No,
It
sir.
was, we're gonna have tripe. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's great. I
looks
like
like a
fish.
Looks like a fishing net.
And they didn't say nothing. They were
Right,
just like,
which is a fishing net. Exactly right, Frankie.
and
I'm
then
not
it was-
never
it was
tried it.
There's not many things I won't eat. Tripe is on that list. I will not eat tripe ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Just
you
knowing what
listen,
it is, I will not eat it.
How about
Yeah.
organ meat, like liver,
I've
heart,
eaten that.
spleen?
Liver, we had hearts and brains and stuff like that. Rocky's wife, Marie Fallon, was phenomenal for cooking all that stuff back in the day. So I've had all of that stuff. It wasn't horrible.
Hey, we just
Who's this,
Nona's
Christy?
hunting with Crystal Light. Nona's gonna hunt with us next year. She loved it. We'd be happy to have Nona with
Can't
us.
go wrong with the
I've
cooking.
had
No, I
spleen.
can tell you that right now.
Spleen is very good. I've had it.
I
There's
never had
a
that.
there's a little.
That's
sandwich truck.
Enzo would make all that kind of stuff.
We had it from Enzo, but I
Oh,
just had it recently in Philadelphia. There's a little food truck down in Philadelphia. The guy makes these spleen sandwiches. They're really
Wow.
good. Santo makes a really good spleen sandwich, but
I'll take the 0. Give me the hand cheeseburger.
you know what, Frankie? You know what it
All
looks like? It
animal
looks
organs
like.
are high in cholesterol, right, doctor?
Listen,
Yeah, very high. That organ
Yeah.
meat is high. Yeah.
Wow.
Organ meat is very bad for you, very high in cholesterol.
so spleen looks like.
That's why I don't eat it.
Well, listen, forget about eating or not eat it. Spleen looks like. Go Nona, my wife. Go Nona. Spleen looks just like skirt steak. But if you have it the way Santo needs it, you're going to need a double batch of Lipitor because Santo, they flour it,
Oh, they butter it?
they fry it in lard, and then
Oh,
they serve
God.
it they serve it on a roll. Now this is peasant food back in the day. Remember these
Wrapped
guys-
with bacon.
This is what nobody
with-
wanted. It was throwing it away, so they made it peasant food.
they serve it on a roll with ricotta and Parmesan cheese on it. So like the
Oh,
organ
it's got to
meat is
taste.
not-
It's got to taste good.
well, I guess you need if you don't
Yeah.
like the organ food, you got
You could just eat the ricotta and parmesan
Listen,
on a nice
Like they
Italian
say.
bread.
you put
I
a
left
dress on a
arms numb
pig.
already
it's
now.
still a pig.
I left arms getting numb now.
Hold on,
Right?
one shit at a time. Stop talking
I'm
over each
sorry.
other. Go
I
ahead,
said you
Frank.
put a dress on a pig, it's still a pig.
Well,
You
exactly.
can put all that ricotta you want on it. I'm not eating it.
Okay.
That's just me. You may love it. It's not for me.
No, listen, my ricotta dumplings that I made them this tomato season. That was, my grandmother's recipe. That was their peasant food. That was just something simple and easy to make.
Yeah, but the
You know.
ricotta dumplings, they don't have spleen in them, do they?
No, they didn't. They had some of our fresh tomato sauce that we made.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. I'll eat that. I'm not eating spleen.
Not eating spleen.
I'm not eating spleen. Sorry. Just,
No
I got to
spleen.
draw
All
the
right.
line somewhere.
Moving right
Okay.
along.
Moving
Horse
right
meat.
along.
No horse.
Hey, how about
Did
them
people
immigrants?
I've had
horses?
horse meat. I've had horse
Oh, you
meat.
have?
It's pretty good.
They
I've
never
never had
eat
horse
lungs.
meat.
They never eat the cow's lungs, do
They
they?
do eat, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Who,
That's souffle. They eat that shit.
Yeah, we had a friend of ours that they would. I
They make
forgot
a
how they
soup
made
out of
it.
the lungs.
Wow.
I drew
Yeah.
a line somewhere.
Right.
They can make water bottles out of the lungs too.
I'm just, he asked the question, I answered the question. I'm not saying I eat it. I'm saying they eat it.
No, I'm sure somebody does in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, they eat a thing called mountain oysters. Anybody can elaborate on what that is?
Yeah,
I have
it's
no clue.
bull's testicles, and I'm not eating that.
Not eating that either.
Nope.
No, no. I had one of our followers sent me. The guy's a big coyote hunter. He wanted to know if I wanted coyote meat. If I wanted to make, he's like, you can make hot dogs out of them.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Let him make them. I'll give him all the hot dogs he wants. Fuck
No,
yeah,
thank you.
Out of coyote. It's eating a dog.
No, thank you. That's just not. Listen, I
Cats, dogs. No, sir.
no. Listen, we harvest a lot of stuff. We eat everything that we harvest. There's things that I'm just that I just can't see.
Well, back in the day, when Joey and
I have
they
a serious question, and this is for all of you, whoever can answer it. And I know this is hard for you to believe. It's a serious question, being that I ain't fooling around 98% of the time, but this is serious.
Correct.
Chicken lays an egg, okay? This is not a joke. I have to emphasize that. Is it coming out of its own egg hole, or is it coming out of its ass? And I'm serious about this. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Egg hole.
Doctor, do you know?
Oh,
It's going to come out of the reproductive tract, not the rear
Okay,
end.
so
That's
it's
waste.
like a vaginal thing.
Well,
Right.
pretty much so. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, that's all.
You have any chickens? You should get some chicken. You could
I
check
don't
them
have
out.
any chickens, but I'd like to get some chickens.
You
I got a couple
absolutely
of them
everybody
frozen
should
in my
have
freezer.
chickens. They
just
lay
think of
tons of eggs.
something that big comes out of the chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I was wondering who the first man on earth was saying, I'm going to eat the next thing and comes out of that chicken's hole.
Oh, it's going awry. Oh no!
No, it's not going south. Oh no!
Oh no!
Yep.
All right.
Turbo.
I can't believe
Well,
you
Tractor
had an
Supply
extra
has the
question.
chickens, right? They're
Trac-
$5, I think,
They,
this month.
they
Yeah,
got
you
them
buy
now.
the chicks.
Yeah.
You buy the chicks.
hmm
Yeah, I'd like to get
Well,
a
you
couple.
could buy the full size ones if that place is still on New Utrecht Avenue in Brooklyn. They used to sell the whole ones. The big
They
ones.
have them.
Big
They still
chicks
have
you
them.
talking
Yeah.
about?
Things. My wife
The
said
ones on like
things-
the Whitney Pine, like over there. You talking about those kind of big chicks?
no,
No, I'm talking about chickens.
live poultry market.
Oh.
Like
Gerard
Pokemon.
knows where the chicken market is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's talking about the ones that fly around in friggin' East New York.
Believe it or not, there's more. Listen, when I leave to go to work,
Well,
every
they
day,
have the cockfights there too.
I
Uh-oh.
drive past the Belmont racetrack. There's chickens all over Hempstead Turnpike
Right.
when I leave at like 6 in the
Right,
morning.
right. No, I'd like to get some chickens and goats here and let them run around in the backyard.
Well, listen. On a serious note, I was going to put out in a group text. I'd like to start getting the cattle fence up and running upstate. I know it's down. Weather kind of we neglected it for a year, but I'd like to get it up and get the electrified thing back up. And I'd like to get some young goats in there, Frank. I'd like to get some of those little baby goats.
Interesting.
You know
yeah.
what? That's going to be like bait for all these immigrants coming across the line.
Goat?
Yeah, they cut them up and eat them.
Listen. I'm. What do you
They'll
think I'm
set up
looking to
camp
do?
right in the front of your house there.
I'm looking to raise them for slaughter.
The
That's
baby
another
goats?
thing. It's not on my list. Goat meat.
You don't like
No,
baby
Now, when
lamb.
when
Oh,
you
goat
talk
meat
about
I'll eat.
Goat
Easter.
and lamb, two different things.
I love lamb and I'll eat goat.
for Easter,
eat
we
goat or
used,
you
we used
don't
to
eat
have. We used
You
to
have
I've
goat?
never eaten it, but I
Hold
would
on.
eat it.
Would you-
I would eat
Okay.
it.
Go ahead,
And I love
Paul.
lamb.
No, I
Go
say
ahead.
Easter time we used to eat baby goat all the time. They used to
Yeah.
tell us it was lamb, but it was baby goat.
Baby goat,
Right.
yeah, because it's half the price. That's
Yeah.
why.
Well,
Baby
That's
lamb,
probably why. Yeah.
baby lamb around now is like $32 a pound. The baby
Yeah,
goat was
lamb,
like 16.
lamb is not too far off from goat meat.
No,
Mhm.
it's not.
There's a peasant food for you.
There's a peasant food for you. Exactly. Go
Yeah.
back to that little thing about peasant food and stuff.
What
Okay.
they had a name for that, didn't they? Back in the day,
What?
for goat meat or lamb, wasn't it called something other than its actual name?
I don't know. I'd have to get Santa on
You
the
know,
phone.
like in the Viking days and stuff.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you
I
want
don't
me
watch.
to-
I don't
you want
watch
me to-
Game of Thrones that much.
If Frank, why don't you ask Alexa?
Yeah.
No, Alexa's in my living room. It's too far. I'm sitting in
Okay.
a walk-in closet right now.
I thought you were in the walk-in closet. I
It
see
looked
all
like
the
a closet.
clothes.
Yeah. My God.
I didn't want to say anything, but
That's all right. I'm a peasant.
at least you got a window in
right?
the walk-in closet.
I got a window there. I got my desk in here.
So a goat's easy to raise in lamb, Andrew?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
gotta
Bobby.
get them little screaming, fainting goats.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's hysterical.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh, I give you that screams.
Yeah.
Funny as hell.
Yeah,
Funny as hell.
yeah.
Is that exactly what they do? They stick the tongue out and stuff?
Yes,
Well, that's only when
That's
Louis
it.
coming up behind them.
exactly right.
That's why they faint.
Me and Gerard.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Sorry, Doc.
Yeah.
Get out of hand a little bit.
Gerard's one of our friends, Doc. He just celebrated his 26th or 27th birthday at the beginning of the week. Lewis's birthday is the 12th.
Tuesday.
Is next week. Frankie just had a birthday the 27th. Paul and I are in the
25th.
summer. We're
Mhm.
we're in a couple of months from now.
I'll be 50. Frankie was 51.
Yeah, all right.
We wish.
Yeah, imagine that.
Frank was
wish.
close to your age, Dr. Roberto, and Lewis is just approaching 60.
Oh.
But we still
lamb.
act like we're 7. Frank, you
I'm
talking
gonna
about
be 66 this year. I don't know. I
66.
feel better than I did when I was 18.
good for you, man.
Good.
Must
66,
be all
you gotta
that
see
spleen you're eating.
It's the good exercise and the green diet. That's what it is. A lot of green foods.
Yeah.
Gets rid of the brain fog. Frank, when you were talking about lamb, you talking about mutton that they call
There you
mutton?
go. Isn't that what that is?
Oh, the
No,
mutton's
mutton-
bad.
Mutton
That's a heavy
is
taste.
yeah, mutton's when it reaches like over 130 pounds. We want them
Oh,
at like
okay.
Oh,
we
It's an
want them at
English.
like 60, 70 pounds.
Oh,
and
so
then-
mutton's when it becomes a heifer.
Yeah, you don't want mutton because then there's with lamb fat and with goat fat, there's really nothing you can do with it. That's where that really
Frozen.
Froze up.
He's frozen.
it's the mutton.
He is.
It's frozen.
Smack him. Get him going, Frank. I don't know what happens. Smack him, Paul. Get him going.
Yeah.
I can Paul punch in the
He's
face.
frozen.
Get Will Smith there.
It'd
Give
be
him a
good if
smack.
you could get from one
He's
screen
feeling
to the
better
other.
now. I don't know what happened. He lost his connection or something.
Yeah,
Too much mutton.
that's it. That's it.
Uh-oh. I guess we're on our own now?
That's
We're on our own.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
so
right.
just-
Here we go.
coming
Oh,
Wait,
back.
he moved.
now he went to
Ooh.
Snapchat.
who?
There he is.
Oh,
You froze
You were
for like a
frozen.
minute.
Frozen for
Oh,
like,
right.
it seemed like 45 minutes.
Oh, my whole thing. It was circling.
it's still frozen. You're frozen still now.
Yeah,
I don't know if
You were
can
gone
see,
for
that's
like
what-
30 minutes.
yeah, I was gone. I was in a time warp for like.
yeah, you were. It
I was
a
listening to
Twilight
Casey
Zone.
Kasem talk about the 60s and 70s music. Little Donna Summers. But we were getting mutton when they get over a certain weight. That's when they have that fat on them, and they get the gland gets big, and that's when you can't get rid of that gamey
So
taste.
you
That
gotta-
Lewis.
I'm not even going to go on that gland thing right now, but
Gland? Which
yeah,
gland
he
are we
said the
talking
gland
about?
gets big. I don't know.
Which gland are we talking about now?
I don't know.
Right
Let's
away.
not
right
go
away.
there. You'll yell at me
listen.
later. I'll hear it. No matter what
Yeah,
you say,
you'll-
I'll hear it.
Well, yeah.
Yahoo Lou.
Yahoo
I'll
Lou's no
be
better.
the fucking guy who gets blamed for everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you
Moving right
do.
along. Shotgun
move-
review time.
Moving right along. So we're all a bunch of shooters here. Dr. Roberto just really he likes clay shooting. He got into it. So like I told him, we got to get him out there. But I gave Lou a little bit of some homework to do and check out some shotguns. So what do you got for us?
All right. So, I mean, in today's climate where you can't find a lot of guns, the supply is starting to come back. So I researched shotguns and mostly pump shotguns because they were the most available of the shotguns, under $300 and under $500.
Okay.
And these are the top ones according to a few different sources on YouTube and online. All right, so now under $300, the Winchester Super X Defender claims to be the fastest shooting pump on the market, and it was originally, just not that long ago, was $195.
Wow.
Was the MSRP.
Is
Rock
that
Island,
a long tube, or what does it hold? What's the magazine hold on that?
5 shots.
Five.
Most of these are 5 shots. Some are 8 shot. Some of the Defender might be a 7 or 8 shot because I believe the tube is as long as the barrel. Because
Is that a stock on there or a pistol grip?
Home defense gun.
It's got a stock with a pistol grip, Frank.
Come in multiple ways.
Okay.
The next gun on the list.
Because it's pump, even with the pistol grip, that would be okay in New York.
Anywhere, almost anywhere, because it's not semi-automatic.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Rock Island Armory Arms Corps M5 is next on the list, and it looked pretty cool. The next one is the Savage Stevens 350, comes in at $188. Was the cheapest one on the list. Then Interstate Arms Hawk and the H&R 5+1 was the only gun on the list that was a 3-inch gun. You could get them available in 3-inch. Was the only one that came standard as a 3-inch gun. Now,
Right.
500 and under, I got a little more information and a little bit better of class of guns. The Benelli Nova is the king of tactical advantage guns. Comes in at $449.
That's a
I believe-
Supernova, right?
Yeah, Supernova and Nova. They still make both of them. One differs a little in price. The
Right.
887 Remington Nitro Magnum. Now, this is a gun very much like the Nova. It's completely covered in plastic. The receiver and the Nova, the receiver and the stock are almost like one plastic piece.
It's all
Right.
weatherproof.
Right. It's like a weatherproof gun. Comes in at $436. The next gun is the 870 Express and the Express Magnum, which of this list was the most reliable of all the shotguns. After that was the Mossberg 500, was $400, and it was the most versatile and came in the most different configurations: pistol grip, not pistol grip, 20-inch, 16-inch barrel. It came in 100 million variations. It comes in. There's a lot of low ways, and it comes in from 410 to 12 gauge.
Wow.
After that was the 835 Ultimag is the only gun on the list, other than the Nova, that's 3.5-inch chamber.
Right.
Next is the first gun on the other list, the Winchester Super X pump, which is, I said before, the fastest pump on the market. 3 shots in under a half a second is why they market the gun. Then the Tristan Cobra 3 and the Weatherby PA-08. That's a Turkish gun, a consignment gun made for Weatherby. I believe the Tristan also is a Turkish gun. I believe the Winchester is also a Turkish gun, if I'm not mistaken.
The TriStar is definitely a Turkish gun. That's
Yeah,
what
they're all
over
those
on.
guns are all, what do you call it? They're all Turkish guns. I don't know if they're made in the same factory. I'd have to do a lot more. I just paraphrase the list to have a little content so we can discuss it or whatever. And I happen to have the Benelli, the 870, and the 500. I don't have any of the other guns, and I can tell you all of them are reliable and good in their own respects, and some are a little better than others. The 870, if I had to pick one of all these guns, the Benelli is by far the best gun, and then the 870. The Mossberg is definitely, in my opinion, the most versatile because there's a ton of things you can do with it. You could slug gun, turkey gun, you could use it for clays, you could use it for small game. I mean, it's just a million variations you could do with the 500 Mossberg. You're not spending a lot of money. The average guy to get the game. And you could buy those guns in combo, where you can get a package where it comes with a slug barrel and a bird barrel. And then you're in the game for deer hunting and small game hunting for under $500.
Right.
So there you have your reviews for this week. And if you want to discuss them or whatever, I mean, I'll be more than happy to answer anything I know. I'm not going to tell you things I don't know, or I don't play one on TV. I also have another list on my phone, which is very similar with a couple of different guns.
I like the Winchester SXP. That gun is fast all day long. We shot it at the house upstate. One of the kids had it up there. And I don't know what they did in the design, but it's like you pull the trigger and the pump is already a quarter of the way back. That's why it comes back, not like the Mossberg or the Remington, where you gotta, like, you pull the trigger, you gotta rack it. That pump is already back a bit. after it fires that shot.
I
I don't know if he uses the gas to bring it back.
Hang on 1 second. I had a little more content on that. One of my favorite shotguns is a blah, 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 under $500. Versatile. It had something to do with the rails, how the rails on the pump are mounted, like you said, where it ejects so quickly and reloads the gun, is to how it what do you call it? Is how it's so fast. But I was paraphrasing it in here. West speed, matte finish, black matte finish, satin barrel, reduced glare. I'm not telling you nothing about how fast it shoots. Inexpensive system. Normally, affordable shotguns don't have the same type of features that a top shelf shotgun has. That gun's called the Black Shadow. Is the one that's all synthetic.
Okay.
And even comes inflex time.
I know Mossberg also makes that Shockwave, that tactical gun, which is supposed to be a new hot one on the market. And you got Kel-Tec out there too. But now you're looking cheap. Well, now you're looking north of the $500. So
we lost the doctor.
No, he's there. We see his thumb.
Oh, I know. There he is.
I'm sorry. It was just a long day.
No, not a problem.
And I'm the oldest guy here. I usually take a nap this time.
You're probably the one that's in the best shape too, so no excuses.
We'll have a race.
If you want a little more background, it's a 12 gauge.
The most push-ups.
Yeah, I'll get one out.
I'm in for a good dozen. That's about it.
Are there a lot of guns on the market, like older guns, like used guns? Are they out there or not?
All right. So there you go, Lou. Tag, you're in. Go ahead. Go on to the topic.
I enjoy the older guns. I have a lot of them. Auto 5s, some over and unders, old Remingtons. I believe the quality of those guns far surpasses the garbage they make today. Most of the guns on
the question. That's not the question he asked.
They're out there. You can buy them.
Available.
They're available. You got to want to pay for them.
Right. Okay.
They're all steel.
High?
Yes.
It depends. Yes. It depends.
The new guns are made for the new shooter. To get in the market, they're cheap.
Right.
They're affordable. And I'll say it again, they're cheap. But a lot of the older stuff is 100% steel. And they don't have die-cast frames. They don't have plastic parts. They all function the same.
Right.
But you get what you pay for.
You should buy what you like.
Yes.
A nice wooden stock is beautiful. The reason I'm asking is one of the first guns I bought was a shotgun. It was a Remington Wingmaster. I'm sitting there in the store. I'm looking at this thing. I said, I got to have that. It's just nice, simple lines to it. I still have it.
Perfect. I have the same one.
It's a good gun.
The Wingmaster is a beautiful
about
gun.
It. Like it's a heavy metal on it. It's a 20 gauge, but it had the same heavy construction as a 12 gauge.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same gun. It's just a 20 gauge. It's the same gun as a 12.
Right.
But they're great guns. I have an 870 Wingmaster. The same gun. I happen to have the 12 gauge model of it.
Yeah.
Brownie makes the square humpback gun called the Auto 5, which is another very good gun, expensive. And the older ones are made in Belgium. The newer ones are made in Japan.
Right.
And the Belgian ones are very sought after. But a lot of people would rather have that SX3 or whatever you want to call it because it's $350 or under $300, where the other gun is maybe $2,000. It's all steel. It's made in Belgium. It's handmade. Everything is different.
What about like inlaid? Sometimes you see that in guns. That's
the more gold inlays on a gun, the more expensive it is. But that mostly you would see on some expensive semi or a lot of over and unders.
Right.
You won't see it on like
side by sides.
Very, very rare.
It's all about what you like too. If you want that gold inlay and you could afford it,
you got to pay for that. Yeah.
The gun without the gold inlay is going to hit the same target, just the same.
Yep. They all break clays the same, or they all shoot birds the same. It's just a matter of status. I
shoot skeet with an $1,100 gun, a $1,400 shotgun, next to guys that are shooting $25,000 shotguns.
And they're even more expensive.
I shoot them just the same. They got to worry about scratching theirs. I don't.
Right. That over-under has a nice look to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
With the rail on it and all. That was the second one I bought. It was a Satori. I'm looking at it.
It's a brown.
Yeah,
Satori.
Made in Japan. I said, I got to have this.
Yeah. It's a nice gun.
It's a more modern one. That's all it is. It's not. There's nothing wrong with that gun. It's a great gun.
All
Yeah.
beautiful wood stock too. There's something about the wood stock is that I don't know. I can't look at it synthetic and feel the same
That's
way.
a nice.
You get
That's a nice
attached to
skeet
them.
gun. It's a nice upland bird hunting gun.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get into that. I'll have to get some orange, an orange hunting jacket to go out with you guys.
Well, Lou lives in New Jersey, so when you got to take your hunter safety course, let Lou know because you're going to need
Someone
I
to
guess
sponsor.
you need a sponsor is what you need.
One.
Oh, all right.
When you have
So
now, what me and you can do, that's easy. Well, you take your online, you get a disc, a CD, whatever you call it, and you take the class. And then
Right.
when you got to go down, we'll make the appointment for like Fort Dix, and we'll go down there, and they do it all in one day.
you got to go on the
And you
range
get-
and stuff like that.
Certificate right then and there, and you can just go by your license after that.
Oh, just like basic safety you go through.
Correct. It's mostly it's basic safety and handling of a firearm. That's what it's all about.
So it's all about gun handling and all stuff like that.
Mhm.
When
It's
you
pretty
store
simple.
your guns at home, do you keep them in a
Safe.
gun bag or do you just
Safe.
keep them out in the rack?
I have them in socks. They
Yeah.
have the
Siliconized.
silicone thing so they don't rust. I also have a dehumidifier in my safe, and they're all in one safe.
Oh, I gotcha.
So you're talking about a Brown and Scutari, Doc.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
an
beautiful gun.
investment. That's an investment. So you want
You
to
got to
treat
take
it.
care of that.
I treat my
Well,
guns
that's the
nice and I
thing. I
treat my
think it
kids.
is a good investment. You keep
Yeah.
these things. They got to be worth
Yeah,
more in the
absolutely.
future. Buy
Absolutely.
quality.
You buy quality,
Mhm.
exactly.
I
Listen,
want to try one.
I-
Good
I
guns.
got a
Never buy
couple of-
cheap shit.
I got a couple of those Turkish inexpensive under and over stuff like that for under 400. And you know what? Like Frankie said, they shoot just as good as the expensive guns. They got extractors. They extract the shells out. I got one with a little faux inlay in it. I don't know if it's not definitely not gold, but it looks like it's gold. I mean, if I held up the gun to you, you would think like, wow, that's a real $high gun. And meantime, the gun was like $379. You know.
Right.
So I
Has to be
didn't
a
know
slight
what I
addiction to
wanted.
these
So
guns.
I know I wanted to play with an inexpensive 20 gauge, and that's what I did. I got myself a 20 gauge. So
Yeah, that color you're talking about, Andrew, it's called burnt bronze.
okay. So
What
and
about
they're good quality guns.
What
They
about
do.
the cartridges? Have they gone up a lot in price?
Yes, they
Yes.
have.
A lot.
And they're
Depends.
sometimes hard to get unless you're
Yeah.
paying the top dollar for them.
Yeah, if there's stores that readily have them, but you're gonna pay, north of $120 a case, $115 a case for shells where, just pre-pandemic they were going for $65 a case.
$65
And
a
always
case.
20 gauge is a little cheaper than 12 gauge. A little
What's
bit,
that, Lou?
not a lot.
What'd you say?
20 gauge is always a little cheaper than 12
No,
gauge.
no,
No,
no.
20 gauge is
Not
more
anymore.
expensive now.
That
Is it now?
reverse, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're not producing as much as they're producing 12.
Pre-pandemic, I was paying $4.50, $5 a box of 25 for 12 gauge.
Okay.
Now, if you could find them for 8 or 8 and change, you're lucky.
Yeah, that's about right. $10 a box is about the standard.
Yeah, it's crazy.
20
And for
gauge.
game loads like the ones we used Sunday, because I didn't use trap, I bought regular like 6s and 4s. They were
Right.
$15 a box.
Yeah.
Wow.
How much is that?
Yeah.
It's like $1 a shell then?
No,
No, 25
they're
a
cheap.
box.
There's 25 to
$50 a
yeah.
shell,
25 in a box.
and
I
50
remember
cents a shell.
So-
Frank and I would go to the place up in Pennsylvania by him. We would go if we went go shooting at the club. Frank, remember the pigeon loads we were buying? $3.99 a box,
Yeah, yeah. I think they were a state or something.
something
or-
like that.
I
Yeah.
have a
Right.
state. You could buy them. You could buy them down at the shooters. I bought a couple of
Yeah,
cases.
but
of
we're
steak.
talking they were $3.99 a box.
Yeah, but you're not getting them for $4 a box now, though.
No.
I
Well,
wish
they
I
had
could.
them for a good price. They wouldn't sell them to us. The other day we went to Walmart after we went to the mountain, but they had the 100 packs, and the guy wouldn't sell us because it was too late.
It was after 10 o'clock. They said they can't sell ammo after 10 o'clock. So
Oh, really?
yeah.
You come
You
up
could
with
get
these crazy
alcohol, but no
rules.
ammo.
You
Right,
can buy
right,
anything you want. You could buy 99.9% of the store, but you can't buy.
I like these
couldn't
rules
buy
they come up with.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Sounds like he made that one up.
I think you just wanted to go home.
I
It's
feel
like,
like, no, there's 4 boxes there. They're for the regulars, not for the New York assholes that want to come here and buy the ammo. He said, no, I can't sell it. It's 10 o'clock. Sorry. Give us one of those for friggin'
Mhm.
so I'm hoping things are going to come back to normal. As for shotguns, it's whatever your preference is. If you want to go on Gun Broker and go look. You can find some nice quality used shotguns. There are some deals to be had because there's a whole generation that's below me being the young man on here, that they don't want that wood stuff. They don't want that quality stuff. Maybe 1 out of 30 of those kids will be interested in stuff like that. Everybody wants the guns that Lewis just mentioned. They want a synthetic stock. They don't want a wood stock. They want that blacked out or camo or stuff like that, which is nice. I mean, I got a couple of them guns. They function for what I do for them, for a lot of upland hunting or duck hunting, stuff like that, where you're out on salt water. I wouldn't take one of my good wood guns on there. But listen, it's all up to your preference. But there are some of the nicer older guns that are out there. If you got time to look on Gun Broker or Guns of America and look, if you want to buy something quality used, they're out there. And
it's not only your preference; it's what you want. You got to. If you're a first-time shotgun buyer, I would say decide what you're really going to use that gun for before you purchase a gun. If you're just looking, someone's breaking in your front door and you want to blow them back out, any one of them guns that Louis mentioned will be perfect.
Will be perfect, exactly right.
If you want to use it for skeet shooting or trap shooting, I mean, me personally, I would stay away from a pump. I would go with either an over and under or a semi.
Yeah.
Well, it really depends on what you want to use that gun for. What's that?
He said he has a Satari in 12. And he has a 20 gauge wingman.
I'm not directing that to the doc. I'm saying for any first time buyer, decide what you want to use it for before you buy the gun. And then even then, if you decide you want to buy an over and under, well, do you want to spend $800 or do you want to spend $25,000? I mean, then
he's
again,
correct.
It's going to do the same thing. It's a tube that's going to shoot the shell.
Right. Look what Nick did last year at the DAV shoot, right? He came in, like 89? Nick. He came in, he shot like 89 or 90 out of 100 clays. He came in second to some guy that owns a clay place. The guy had a Krieghoff. He had the jacket.
40 grand.
Hat. And Nick shot with my 1187. My original 1187. I must have paid $600 for the gun when he bought it. Camouflage gun, and he was dusting clays. So, like Frankie said earlier, the expensive gun is going to shoot just the same as the inexpensive gun.
So what you were explaining, you have an over and under, which is a great clay and trap gun, and you have the 20 gauge, which is a great hunting gun. The only thing I'm talking about, might want to add in the future would be a nice semi. When you come with us, you shoot one of ours, I have 7 of them. If you have different semis, you could try them, see what you like.
Just give him one of yours.
No problem.
If he straightens out your bent carrot, consider it a copay.
That's it. Give him one of yours, and you can have 6 of them.
Let me tell you something. That carrot makes me unique.
Well, let me ask you about the pheasant hunting. Can you pheasant hunt any time of the year, or there's specific seasons?
So if you go like a regular wild, like if we went upstate to the house upstate, we walked the field and the fields by the house. You got to go within the season that they have. It's usually from October 1st to December 31st. That's pheasants in the wild. Then there's preserve hunts, which we try to get out as much as we can. Preserve hunts start from October 1 and run till the end of April.
Oh, that has seasons.
That has a season as well. And then depending on what state, if you go in New York, you don't need a hunter license. There's no hunter license required. They give you like a safety briefing, what to do, what not to do. So in New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland, you don't need a license. Jersey, you need a hunter license.
You don't have your license. You buy a 1-day license for $6.
You still need a hunter. You still need to possess
a valid
hunter license in the state that you live in to hunt in New Jersey. Then you got to buy their non-resident license or resident license for the day.
Correct.
As for Maryland, Jersey, Pennsylvania, you go on a preserve, you pay, you tell the guy I want to put out, 15, 20 pheasants, and they'll put a variety of birds. You get a handler with the dog, and the dog works the fields, and the dogs go on point, and you flush the bird out.
Andrew, when you had your dog, did you take him out hunting?
I took him out a couple times. I took him, and then the one time that I had him out there with a buddy of mine, Don, he ran away. He ran away for a while. I was more scared of coming home that I thought my wife or my kids were gonna shoot me if I didn't come home with the dog. So after that point, I would run him, but I never ran him to hunt anymore because I just he became a 70-pound lap dog, and that was the end of it. We ruined him, but he was. Listen, I loved him.
Yeah.
Well, we ruined him for hunting. Other than that, he was a great dog. Yeah.
He was a good boy. Any more topics you got to hit?
Well, you got Easter coming up soon. You know, we anybody got any funky plans for Easter? Any crazy recipes?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat.
Pizza rustica, pizza grande, all the good stuff he says is no good for you.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Andrew, are you gonna whip together some cannolis?
You know, it's funny. I went to a friend of mine's daughter. Well, she's a family friend as well. She had a 40th birthday, so I walk in there, and big cousin Santa goes, "I need your help." I go, "What's up?" He goes, "I need you to stuff cannolis." So I was like, "Oh, okay, fine." So I go back there, and he's got a case of cannoli shells, and he's got the cream in a Ziploc bag and everything. And there's like 80 people in the room. I go, "How many cannolis you want me to fill?" All of them. All of them.
Like
100.
I was 144 cannolis. I'm like,
That's gross.
mind? He's like, well, you figured they're not that big. They were decent sized cannolis.
Wow.
I stopped at like 120. I didn't want to go any further. And a lot of them went. But I don't know. I was thinking about making, I know you and I want to do a cooking segment. We were going to do a show on some cannolis and stuff like that. I don't know. I got to see where I'm at for Easter. This weekend, I'm by family down in Delaware. I really didn't decide exactly where we're going or whatever for Easter this year. So I got to figure it out. But I will
visit the southern border.
The southern border of what?
Yeah,
the southern border of Pennsylvania?
No, southern border down big, Texas into freaking Mexico or Arizona into Mexico.
I'm looking to go to southern border of South Carolina. I'm looking to go. So we'll go hang out there. But I am going to be making the pasta casade for Good Friday. I know it's a St. Joseph's dish, but our friend Moose, Uncle Moose, his wife Ann, had taught me how to make that. That's pasta with fennels. It's got raisins, sardines, stuff like that. And I make that every year. My parents really like it. I make it with the bucatini pasta, and then you lightly brown, or you lightly toast breadcrumb, and that's what you put that over there. You're not supposed to put cheese on it, grated cheese. You put toasted breadcrumb over it. So I'll be keeping up with that tradition for Good Friday, and going to mass like I always do for Good Friday mass. So you want to promote, good stuff and good family values. You definitely got to get out, go to your church or wherever your religious beliefs are, and become a family again. That's what. That's what we practice and preach. No, listen, we got family values and family traditions. We do. If it's for making sauce, going hunting, talking like we're talking on the podcast and stuff like that, that's what we're from. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you said in the last podcast, Lou, when Giuseppe asked about Sunday meals, and you're like, well, we try. If you think about it, we really do. We don't try. We do. I mean, Frankie was going away to Florida for the month. He's like, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, I don't know. What are you doing? You want lunch? And I drove up to Pennsylvania. We went to the quad dealer, hung out over there, and we went for Chicken Palm Heroes. I went to his house, hung out for an hour, and drove back home. Because, we do. And that's the traditions and the values that we have. And that's the thing that we try to instill in our family.
Amen.
I agree.
Right? And on that note,
we still want the cannolis.
Good night.
You still want the cannolis.
Remember in The Godfather that time? He shoots the guy in the head and says, grab the cannoli.
Yeah,
leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Leave the gun, take the cannoli. When you
Is it
come
got
hunting
the
with
cannoli
us,
truck? He has it on his truck.
Yeah. When
the gun, take the cannolis.
When you come hunting with us,
all the time. It's a black truck.
We leave the we wind up leaving the ammo home because the food's more important to us. So it's hanging out, having a meal. Paul's son Zachary had said when he did his Eagle Scout ceremony, he thanked everybody that helped him through his thing, and then he said a little segment about me, and he's like, it's not about the biggest deer you get or the amount of birds you get or how many fish you catch. He goes, it was going back to that table and having a meal together as a group, and the camaraderie and the stories that we tell to these kids so they can tell to their kids, and this way the tradition can keep going on. And he said that. I put my head down. I had tears in my eyes. My buddy goes, I think he's talking about you. I'm like, no shit. But I was more impressed. I was more impressed that he listened to me. You know, because the kids don't listen to you. They say they listen to you, but you know,
they listen. You'd be surprised.
It's a strange thing is you don't always realize the effect that you have on other people.
yeah,
That's
Sometimes
very
people
true.
that you don't even think you're close to and say, well, you said this that time, and I remember you did this, and you don't realize it. That's why it never pays to be a schmuck. It always pays to be a good person. You just keep trying to do the thing, and you don't know what effect it has. You're supposed to just put out good stuff out there. Kindness. That's what it comes down to, kindness.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We tell all the kids, everybody, hold the door for somebody. Smile. You know, just a little acts of kindness goes a long way, and it puts people in a good mood.
Well, the whole thing about scouting is it's about doing what's right, teaching these kids to grow up. It's a good organization. Because I was in the Scouts. It's a good organization.
We were doing this before Scouts. I mean, you know, you got Frankie's two boys. You know, they weren't in scouting. Even his daughter had no affiliation with scouting or anything. Today, you know, any one of his kids call me up. You know, they call me. You know, Uncle Andrew, they ask me advice and all kinds of stuff like that. It's just, it comes from within the family.
Not only that, you learn the outdoors too.
Oh, the outdoors. Yeah. No, that much.
Hiking.
Yeah.
Very true.
It teaches people how to respect the environment and what we have and stuff like that.
Responsibility, independence, all that stuff.
Yeah.
All the good foundation of our country. Well, maybe it'll become popular again. We'll be positive role models.
We'll be positive. Well, I like what you say. We got a movement. It's not a bowel movement.
Yeah, we got a movement again. The bowel movement is right back at our southern border. There you go. Keep going back to that.
Oh no!
Bowel movement.
Oh no!
It is.
All I can say
right,
before I leave the studio is two things. One, good night. And two, nice meeting you, Doc.
Oh.
And three, go Trump.
Okay.
Good night, Frank.
Good night, Frank.
Good night, Frank.
That's it. He's coming out of the closet.
He's coming out of
Andrew, let me know when you want to cook again.
Yeah, I definitely we got to get some. I'd like to get. Well, why don't we do? Let's get into the May. I'll throw you some ideas. If you want to do an episode on cannolis, we could definitely do on.
You got to
cannolis.
bring.
I got to find the wooden dowel. I have that wooden dowel.
It has amaretto in it too, doesn't it?
Well, that's the version my son Nick makes. Nick makes his. He makes it because he makes homemade amaretto,
Right.
and he don't put any sugar in it. He sweetens it with amaretto.
You know, I can almost, since we've been talking about it, I can almost taste that cream in it. It's such a distinct flavor.
Well, I'll tell you what we could do. We could do a little bit of a hybrid. I can make the cannoli cream, and we can make your little those banana pancakes you made.
You like those? Oh,
Those I like. I make those. I make those quite often. What I made too, not to get back into a whole other discussion, but I know you got me on broccoli. So I make my broccoli, I steam it. I'll make it in the beginning of the week. I'll have it for one night for dinner, and then I just finish it till I finish it out at the end of the week. And then what I do is on Fridays or maybe Saturdays, I take whatever I got left over and I mash it in a bowl. I got the gluten-free flour that you gave me and egg whites, and I make like a little patty out of it, and I fry it in a pan. And,
like a little fritter.
Like a little fritter, yeah.
Oh, wow, that sounds good.
I make little ones, and then I make like my version of like a tater tot with it, like a broccoli tot I make.
I got this new thing I eat now. It's called jicama. It's a Mexican root vegetable. Instead of making French fries, you use this stuff. It's healthier for you, and it tastes pretty good too. Jicama, try it out. We got to do some new things on our cooking show. We'll try the broccoli fritters. I like that. We'll put this jicama stuff in. There's like 10 ingredients, and you can create a whole menu of healthy food.
I like it. Now you're with the jicama. You fry it. You bake it, broil it. What do you do?
I eat this stuff every day now. I slice it up into little like cubes. I cook it. I put it in the refrigerator. I mix it with my eggs in the morning. I have eggs, beans, and these avocados and this jicama, and then I have it for lunch too. This stuff is really good for your body. It cleans everything out, detoxifies you.
Jicama. I got to look for that.
Lou, I've been telling you, and Paul,
I got
you as well. When I go to Dr. Roberto, you guys, Lou, he's on your way home. You got to pass by his office.
Well, when you guys are going to do your next show, if you're gracious enough to have me, I would love to come and watch.
I invited you 3 times.
My favorite thing is loud guys from New York.
It's me. It's my specialty.
Mhm.
I talk loud, I talk straight, and if you don't like me, I don't care. I go. Loud,
If you
loud guys from Brooklyn are even better.
by some strange coincidence, you have found the right people. If you don't want to go shooting, I belong to a couple of clubs. You could be my guest
You live in
anytime.
Jersey?
You don't need
You
anything.
live in Jersey?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, we'll get together on this.
I'm right in Middlesex County.
Oh, all right.
I'm right in the center. I'm right near Mattawan, Old Bridge area, right around there.
Oh, all right. You know, I work in. Yeah, I'm in Secaucus, Hudson County. You're not that far from me.
Yeah, I'm probably about 35 minutes south of you.
Oh, all right.
I'm right off Route 9. Right
Oh,
Route 9
gotcha.
and 18. I live right there.
Oh, all right. We'll get
Lewis's
together.
club every Sunday they have clay shooting.
Really?
They have it the first, third, and fifth Sunday of every month. The third Sunday is stagnant steel for handgun. They also have USPSA.
Right.
They have a lot of different disciplines. Anytime you want to go.
Oh, we'll get together.
I have one here. You don't need anything.
Andrew, I got my fish, and that's why I was late. I had to stop at the fish store. I got some cod.
Oh,
You got any
nice.
suggestions on how to cook it?
You know my favorite way is to bake it. I bake it in the oven. Why don't you try with a little avocado oil, some garlic, and why don't you maybe roast it with a little jicama? Oh, you got to pre-roast the jicama if you're telling me it's on.
You know, the other day, what I did, I took some rice, some celery, and onions, and I put a little bit Cajun seasoning on it. I made that as a bed, and I just put the fish on top of it. It was
There you
absolutely
go.
delicious.
Now that jicama, I never really cooked with it. I seen it, I just never cooked with it. So it's if you cut it raw, it's like a potato. It's
You
got
could
like that.
eat it like that, but I'm not crazy about the taste of it, so that's why I just sautéed it with a little olive oil.
What about if you shred it? You know, go through like a cheese grater, shred it out, and then
Yes.
maybe just give it like a little parboil, drain it off, and then just make like a little pancake out of it or something.
It's kind of very dense. It's a root
Okay.
vegetable. It's much better for you than potato. You know what you do is figure out some stuff, and we'll put it together on the show. But it's
Yeah,
something good.
I'm intrigued by it. I'm gonna go probably over the weekend. Maybe I'll go grab.
You don't
grab
shave this stuff off with like a carriage shaver.
Okay.
You carve it with like a paring knife because it's a
Okay.
very tough outer. I think it's hard to get. You know where you can get it is like ethnic neighborhoods and ethnic stores. Because
I got plenty of them.
Mexico eat it.
Plenty of them on my route. Plenty. If I can't find it, it don't exist.
Yeah, Lewis is in Elmhurst. He's in a very.
I'm from
neighborhood.
Woodside to almost Shea Stadium. There's a million kinds of Hispanic cultures. If I can't find it, don't exist.
Oh, that's where you'll find it. You're not going to find it in a big grocery store. They'll run out of it. They can use
Yeah, like
regular
BTA, those kind of
supplies.
stores will have it.
Yeah.
I'll just ask the guy. I go to tomorrow.
Jicama, it's called. I don't know. Check it out. I don't know. I got
Is
like
that the way
10
you say
different-
it? Or we're
What's
saying it wrong? Is that the
Jicama.
exact jicama?
Jicama, yeah.
Yeah. Check it out.
I've seen it. I never cooked with it before. I've seen it.
I've seen yuca and all those kind of things, but I've never seen jicama. I never looked that much, to be honest with you.
Andrew, we got to expand our menus.
You got it. You got it. I got
Mm-hmm.
some pheasant. I got some fresh pheasant in, so we could do some pheasant if you want to do something too.
All right. We've both been too busy doing too many other things. This is
Yeah,
our
well,
passion.
I just got out of the first quarter. The first quarter for me is usually a little crazy, a little nuts. So I just got out of the first quarter. So now my schedule gets a little lighter. So because I haven't even seen Eddie. Dr. Roberto and I came together with we have a mutual friend, Eddie. Eddie does another podcast, The House of the Unusual.
All like Frankenstein stuff.
Yeah, he
I
does
think
like
he's
all
on
that.
Wednesday night too.
He's on Wednesday and he goes on at like 11 o'clock. He goes on.
Yeah.
So he does all like Creature from the Black Lagoon, all sci-fi magic stuff and everything. That he's got a pretty cool show. And Eddie was the reason Dr. Roberto and I met. He felt that we would hit it off. And Eddie was just trying to introduce us on his show. I just don't think we have the right following on his show, but you never know. You know, them sci-fi guys, I don't know if they're going to be looking to go clay shooting and stuff like that. So everybody likes to eat. That's another thing.
Zombie shoot. Make a zombie shoot for them.
Make a zombie shoot. Yeah. So, but
Andrew, before you came on, I was talking to Mike, and Mike, he doesn't hunt, but he will shoot. So I said to him, he should come next year to the event.
I invited him this year. He couldn't make it.
Well, he said next year it's a thought because he said, I said, you could, Clay shoot. He has a couple of shotguns. He used to go to Calverton all the time. He was telling me. We were talking about going to the pits in the back of Calverton.
Yeah.
And he said he's been there quite a few times. I said, I think you would like to come with us. He said, he's going to try to make this coming up year's one.
Yeah, we're gonna get something a little bit before. We're gonna have.
Hey guys, the first time you shot it like a bird or something, was it a freaky experience? Was it what was it like?
It came. It was an instinct. Bird came up. It raised my gun. Boom, done. Like what Lewis and I did the past 5-6 Sundays in a row. You go out.
We went last Sunday again. Me and him went last Sunday.
We throw you throw a bird up. Boom, done. That's it. They just it comes instinctively. So how I break a lot of the youngsters in is you feed them first, and then you tell them, this is what we're going to go hunt. And not to sound cruel, but it kind of takes the edge off them, taking an animal's life.
Okay.
So this way they now they have a newfound respect for it. We're not killers. We don't kill for the sake of killing. We harvest,
right.
And we're hunters, gatherers, and stuff like that. However you want to refer to us as.
You know what? If the whole system fell apart, you'd be able to exist. It's a good skill.
It's a good skill we have. No, definitely without a doubt. Lewis and I were talking about that the last couple of mornings.
Mm-hmm.
We just what we know how to do and stuff like that.
You guys talk every day?
Every day. About 4 or 5 times. Well, you're about 30 days out from making a garden. We're start doing tomatoes, zucchini, basil.
I already got stuff going. I got.
I didn't start yet. I started right around Mother's Day.
That my son Andrew left before he went back.
Either the weekend before or the weekend after Mother's Day, I'm going to plant everything this year.
I love the story when you made the tomato sauce, the marinara.
You got the crew here. Frankie was a part of the crew. Frankie just did
this is the whole gang for the tomatoes.
This is the crew right here, Dr. Roberto. This is it. We make,
That's a production line. I started out as a little thing. Now it's a production line.
Paul's got the stats.
I got a family in Jersey. They do the same thing. But
a lot of people, my neighbors,
family. There's like 6 or 8 people doing this thing. The whole family comes over. It's like keeping this culture alive.
25 people doing it.
I think we had close to 40 people doing it this year.
Yeah,
but it was like 7 families altogether. But there was 40 plus people.
There's at least 12 people at a time on the assembly line, pretty much. Right? I mean, yeah.
Who's squishing? Who's cooking them? Who's mashing them? Who's jarring them? Everybody does something.
Paul's mother-in-law Nona, if you don't stir the sauce, clockwise.
Got to stir in the right direction.
If you don't stir in the right direction, she'll take you out back and off with your
Grandma, is that one ready? Because you got to pour. So not ready yet. Wait, 5 more minutes, 6 more minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So not ready yet. Okay.
You got to record this thing one day. It's like
we do. I got a million videos and pictures.
We got a couple of videos on it. Now that I know how to work
if he sends me a I'll send you some pictures. I got a ton of pictures on my phone.
Oh my God!
We'll definitely do it this year for the podcast.
Absolutely. Directly from the old country back, keeping the tradition alive.
And you know what's funny about this, Dr. Rowe? This was a tradition that I started when my oldest son was born. Because I never really did this with my grandparents or anything. If they did sauce and stuff like that, they did on a small scale. They did like 1 bushel of tomatoes. They had the little hand grinder and stuff like that. They jarred maybe like 14 jars. That was about it. I vaguely remember doing it with them. And when my oldest son, Andrew, was born, my buddy David, he's like, we got to have a tradition. We start with the boys. So we went out, a couple of us, we chipped in, we bought all the equipment. And way past that equipment, we had three tomato machines.
2 machines and hand grinder sometimes going. But Andrew, you originally started making wine before you made sauce. Didn't you make wine with Daddy first?
Yeah, I made wine a couple of years.
Wine first.
Wine's a little more difficult, and it's
plant. Tabanada, you made a lot of different stuff. Olives.
So now you want to get back to peasant food. Pickled eggplant, that's on the list of peasant food, but we'll get side topic. But to get back to with the sauce, I took it from, so now my buddy, I had 3 of us that originally started, they dropped off. I have done it every year. I've never stopped doing it. And then what was about 5 years ago, I moved it to where we all have houses up in Pennsylvania, and it turned into an event.
We did 900 pounds. I keep it all documented here. We did 900 pounds of tomatoes last year. We made 334 quarts.
Wow. And you pour it in. It goes in hot in the jar, and then you seal it.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's never had a problem with it. Never went bad.
No,
you get
never.
You get 1 or 2 jars if the lids.
I never had any.
If you get the
None of
lids
mine
get-
popped.
What?
None of mine
No,
ever
no.
popped.
None popped last year. I think. It was
Past
pretty
year,
good.
well, no, like in
Unless
the
you had
morning,
like 2 lids stuck together.
yeah,
or-
that's it.
or-
You know,
yeah.
last year I think we had two jars that didn't take. A couple
Yeah.
years, every year we're getting better because we had one
Mm-hmm.
year we had a good portion of the freaking jars that popped, and I had to redo
Right.
them over. So
Right.
You put this in the basement and in the dark, or where do you keep it? Store it
I still, mine's in my house in my basement.
in
Mine's
the
the
dark.
lock and key. Hey, you're lucky I don't have a safe for that.
The first year I did it with you guys, I had the pictures, was 15. Was 7 years ago.
Okay,
You turned it
boys
into
were
a
little.
production line then.
we turned to a big production line.
Well, if you're gonna do it, go big. That's the American style.
Oh,
That's
now
exactly
forget
it.
it.
We have, so we got, my kids, Paul's kids, and just the kids. If I don't make the pasta dough, Paul's wife Camilla makes the pasta dough, and we make fresh raviolis for the day.
What's
you
that
know,
type
and
of
then-
tomato cause? It's a specific sauce tomato, isn't it?
It's a
Plum
Roma
tomato.
tomato. Plum. Roma. I like the Roma
Plum
tomatoes.
tomatoes. Okay.
Yeah,
Plum, Roma, whatever you want to call it.
they're good. I get them from a farm up in what's the exact town that's up there?
Stillwater?
No, not Stillwater. It'll come Lafayette, New Jersey is the farm. Is a farm over there where I get it. I go a couple times. I'll go like in early June just to go say hello to them and see what's going on if they planted a big crop, and then I'll go back several other times, and then I'll go up maybe a month beforehand and I'll order, how many crates I need, and then the day of, I go there, pick them up, throw them on a trailer, and we go to the house and start.
Last year I got them in West Windsor by the Farmers Co-op off of 130,
Well, I don't
where
know.
the farmers go to sell their tomatoes.
Well, Jersey's known for their tomatoes. Probably
Yes,
the
sir.
soil.
Mhm.
It's the
Absolutely.
soil, and then
Oh, all right.
so the best tomatoes that I've got so far from making all these tomatoes, but it's out of the way, was in Swedesboro, New Jersey.
Yeah, way south.
The tomatoes down there were just, oh my god, they were
That's the,
insane. It
the
really
pepper
was.
capital is what that
Yeah.
is.
And
They
the
grow all
guy,
the peppers down there.
same farm, the guy had his eggplant. The eggplant would to die for, man. They were really, really good eggplant.
Well, that's what it was. Jersey was the garden state. They grew a lot of
Yes.
stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Local broccoli rabe in the summertime is outrageously good.
Wow.
And not a lot of places grow it.
All good stuff. Oh my
Yeah, all
God.
good stuff.
Well, that's what we got to focus on. Healthy, good food.
Exactly.
Will anybody listen to us? Will we be an inspiration?
Inspiration.
I think we'll have a little
Don't
bit of
speak with a
cult.
forked tongue. Andrew, I gotta go. I gotta go cook my dinner.
No,
Gentlemen,
yeah.
right.
Listen,
talking
we're running
and,
about hour 37 minutes, so I like to keep it.
I gotta
an
go to
hour
bed.
20 hours, hour 30. So, guys, thank you so much.
Lou,
Everybody,
what time
that's
you
out
gotta
there.
wake up for your route tomorrow?
I have to be at the route at 2:30 in the morning.
In the morning.
Wow.
In the morning, yeah.
We better
I
let them
get up at 1. I leave here a little bit after, and I get there. I start the first talk 3:30, 3:45, like that, 4
They
o'clock.
still make
Sometimes.
those chocolate donuts in the box, the big
Every
ones?
day. Every day.
And their crumb cake was incredible.
That's still a good big seller, also.
Wow. I had to stop eating all that stuff.
But none of that stuff's made here anymore, Lou. It's all made.
No, it's all made in
Mexico, or-
PA. No, PA.
Oh,
Everything's
okay.
made in
PA. All right.
Everything was made on Long Island at one time. Now everything's made in Pennsylvania.
Gotcha.
That's originally a New York company, Enderman?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rogers Avenue.
Wow. Gentlemen, I'm going to go. Good talking to you.
All right.
Andrew,
Same
give
here,
me a
Dr.
call.
Bruno.
We'll come up with some
Good
new
night.
recipes.
Sounds
It
like
was
a
nice
plan.
finally to meet you. Don't be a stranger, because if you want to go shooting, you contact me. We go.
Yeah, I want those big frisbee-sized targets.
No problem. You got your name written on them.
Listen, I want to get Doc on as many shows if he wants to come on as a regular with us. I want to get him on here. We want to get a segment going. And
He's
we
like
wanna-
us. He's perfect.
Who is Frank? He's your cousin?
Frank is like a brother. I know Frank 100 years. I know him since I'm a baby. So
Oh, I like that, 100 years. All right. Keep the tradition alive.
You had a very light version of Frank today.
exactly, he's concerned. He's concerned.
You didn't have Frank in full effect.
We'll straighten out his bowels. I'm an expert at that.
All right, guys.
All right.
All right,
Good night.
good night, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
watching us.
Bye bye.
If tomorrow all things are gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I think of my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, well, at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the ones who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend us till today.